Kevin Frith hosts Area Council 1 meeting in St. Andrews Southeastern this Sunday, March 16 at YWCA 51 Arnold Road, 4:30 p.m. Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie rallies the team with MPs Juliet Holness, Favour Williams, Matthew Samuda, Dwayne Smith, Senators Atka Fitzhenley, Marlon Morgan, Delano Seavright, Council Caretaker Camilyn Reed and others. We ring the bell as we come to you, standing on a strong record of performance. Jlp active and strong. Area Council 1 meeting hosted by Kevin Frith this Sunday, YWCA 4:30 p.m. See you there!
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Area Council 1 meeting at YWCA School Leavers Institute, Sunday, March 16. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the West Kingston constituency and the Jamaica Labour Party. Due to the broadcast of the Area Council 1 meeting on Sunday, March 16, Jamaican Dads, Immaculate Moments, and Baha'i Faith will not be aired.
Good evening, and welcome to Nationwide. Yes, it's a Sunday evening, Sunday, March 16, and we are on special assignment at a paid political broadcast of the governing Jamaica Labour Party. This paid political broadcast is to showcase its Area 1 Council meeting at the YWCA School Leavers Institute at Arnold Road, 51 Arnold Road, in the constituency of Southeast St. Andrew. And just before we get into the meat of the meeting, I want to bring you up to speed, if you haven't been told yet or you haven't heard yet. There are 2 new ministerial appointments to the Holness Administration, Jamaica House. The Office of the Prime Minister announcing this afternoon that the recently appointed former Jamaican ambassador to the United States, Audrey Marks, now Senator Audrey Marks, she has been appointed a minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, with responsibility for what is being called efficiency, innovation, and digital transformation. So Senator Audrey Marks has been appointed minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, with special responsibility for efficiency, innovation, digital transformation, as well as Senator Delano Seavright. He has now been appointed State Minister in the Ministry of Tourism, with special responsibility for increasing local linkages, local industry operators with the tourism sector. So 2 new ministers appointed this afternoon. They'll be sworn into office by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen tomorrow morning. They are Senator Audrey Marks, Minister as a member of the Cabinet, and State Minister Senator Delano Seavright. And we're coming to you, as I said, from the YWCA School Leavers Institute. It's a paid political broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party, and we anticipate that we'll be doing several more of these as the drive to the general elections gathers pace and momentum. And in Southeast St. Andrew, the Jlp'S prospective candidate is businessman Kevin Frith. Good evening, Mr. Frith.
Yes, if I have man.
Is it safe to say you're a newcomer to politics?
Yes, quite so. This is my first venture in the political space.
What drove you to decide that, listen, it's time to throw my hat into the political field?
Well, I really love the direction that the country is going. And, as a citizen of this great country, Jamaica, I see it quite fitting for me to play a role in the forward movement of the country so we can continue to enjoy and increase the level of prosperity.
Well, you are in a tough constituency, Southeast St. Andrew. It has been won consistently by the opposition People's National Party. The incumbent MP is the opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, How do you fancy your chances against Mr. Robinson?
Well, Cliff, what my concept of anything that I approach, business or otherwise, is that I focus on the work at hand and not so much of the noise around me. So far, I've been in the space a few weeks and I've been going through the constituency, and I see where there is a great need for more innovation and a stronger leadership. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest constituencies as it relates to commercial and residential. And I just think that it's lacking innovation, you know.
And what do you mean by lacking innovation?
Well, you know, for example, I just think that there's more that can be done in a great space like this. There's greater need for certain activities and, you know, to keep New Kingston buzzing as a commercial district, and as you drive through certain residential area, it's obvious that it needs some improvement.
And in terms of buzzing in New Kingston, what are you thinking?
Well, if you look at the space, for example, you know, like possibly if you go downtown and see how they're creating the whole artwork and so on, there are several empty spaces in New Kingston, critical spaces that could look better. And this is just a simple example of more that can be done in the space. I don't think a great space like New Kingston should have any such looking space that needs, you know, that kind of improvement, because it's a great city.
Tell me, who is Kevin Frith?
Well, I'm a businessman. I'm involved in a branding and advertising company. I've recently gone into real estate development. I'm born and raised in Kingston, and I'm a Jamaican citizen.
And branding and advertising, real estate, that's the range of businesses you do?
Yeah, that's the range of business.
Oh, and tell me, how has business been for you?
It has been very good, and this is why I'm saying I would love to see the country continue to progress, you know, and to prosper. I don't want the chance of it not continuing on this path that it is. So I see where I have to throw my hat in the ring and help to get it where it needs to be.
You said earlier you don't watch the noise, you focus on the work at hand. Yes? What is that work that you have to put in now?
Well, you know, what I've been doing is I'm going through the constituency, I'm meeting with the residents, I'm meeting with business persons, I'm hearing all the concerns. I'm seeing some of the things that need obvious improvement, and I'm putting together a plan with my team now as to how do we restructure all of that and put certain things in place to move forward.
What's the majority Julian Robinson is defending that you'll have to overcome?
Well, Cliff, as I said, I'm not paying attention to those things. I'm paying attention to coming in, doing my part of the work, putting my name and my work out there, and the work will speak for itself. I don't consider this to be a safe seat for no party. I look at it as from the point of view where there's work to be done. Jamaican people, we're not fooled. We're not into the business of being misled with no political speech. We're focusing on the fact that the country is prospering now, and we need to keep it along those paths.
So for you, based on what you have picked up over the last several weeks, the key issues are?
Well, so far that I've been going through the constituency, I find where there's a lot of like, for example, I've been to, there's like sewage, certain areas of the constituency, there's certain loose sewage issues where, you know, being a representative of the people, you don't allow people to live in those circumstances. And we're talking about main road sewage issues, and you know, it's ongoing for quite a period of time. And there's a lot of other things that we're going through and putting our list together, our facts together. And my team today is the, if you want to call it, official launch of my being in the constituency.
You mean this meeting today?
Yeah, this is like, yeah, so today is when I'm being first publicly introduced to the constituency. So, you know, within another 2 weeks or so, you will see the impact of the work that we have at Antigua.
When did you enter the constituency?
So I've been going through the constituency now, I would say from about last November, just to get my own understanding of what it is like and so on. But then the real attention on it has been for about the past 3 weeks.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Frith, Kevin Frith. He entered Southeast St. Andrew last November, and he is the governing Jamaica Labour Party's parliamentary prospective candidate. You will be the candidate when you're actually nominated, Mr. Frith.
Yeah.
Yes, all the best.
All right, thank you
Good,
very
good.
much. Sir.
Time for the break.
All right now, any bet, your best bet, any day, every day. Winnings you get, all kind of sports, virtual sports, games and horse racing, local, international. We are slot machine in our spot, play enough, win big with the best odds now. Any bet lounge is spread across the island, any bet get in on the action.
Bet today on any sport or gaming at any bet locations island-wide. Any bet, your best bet.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Water Means Food World Water Day Forum and Training Session at Ebony Park, Hart Academy, Osborne Store, Clarendon on Thursday, March 20. Join us for exciting displays, exhibitions from agricultural agencies, on-the-spot prizes and giveaways. Plus, get practical training on water use efficiency for your farm. Don't miss out. Come learn, connect, and celebrate World Water Day. So tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Water Means Food World Water Day Forum and Training Session at Ebony Park, Hart Academy, Osborne Store, Clarendon on Thursday, March 20. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here.
All right, welcome back to the YWCA School Leavers Institute. The laborites are gathering here at 51 Arnold Road for the JLP Area Council 1 meeting, Area Council 1 meeting, and they're also going to use the occasion to publicly introduce for the first time the party's candidate for Southeast St. Andrew. That's Southeast St. Andrew, Kevin Frith. It's a constituency in the corporate area that has traditionally gone to the People's National Party. Kevin Frith and the Labour Party are trying to pull off an upset this time round against Julian Robinson, the opposition spokesman on finance. And we're now going to be joined by the JLP, let me correct that, the Member of Parliament for Northeast St. Ann and the Minister with responsibility for water. Yes?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Matthew Samuda. Good evening, Mr. Samuda.
Good evening, Cliff, and good evening to your listeners.
Good. Southeast St. Andrew in play for the Labour Party this time round?
Certainly looks that way to me.
Really? Or are you all dreaming?
No, we're not dreaming. The party has approached its affairs in a very systematic manner, as would have been evidenced over the last two general election cycles. All of our candidate selection has been data driven. It has been based on support from workers in the constituency, support from important constituents who tend to be thought leaders in a community, and based on the profile design or the resume design of that candidate, you usually know who fits best in what the community has called for. And I think what you have here is an excellent chance to break, as you said, a trend that has supported the PNP, because the JLP is on the ascendancy now, as is evidenced by your recent polls, is evidenced by our internal polls, and you have a good candidate and I think a constituency that could be ready for change.
Wow. Well, that would be a shocker if you were to
we had
prefer.
many shockers the last time around, so I think
yes.
the illusion of one safe seats is going, and I think that it's a time for all candidates to be very clear on that the people are demanding, work. They're not as patient as they once were. They're demanding service delivery. They're demanding infrastructure upgrades at a faster pace than their parents and grandparents may have experienced it. So let us see how the notion of the safe seat holds up this time around.
Well, it is something I've been looking at seriously as a political commentator and observer, that 2020 was an outlier. In fact, it was a COVID election, the lowest turnout, yes, and there's a shift, I suspect, is taking place in the body politic, where the Jamaican voter, as you quite rightly point out, is no longer paying any credence or deference to loyalties, yeah? Michael Manley or Eddie Siaga did that for my family or whatever. They're talking about what you can do for them now. They're more transactional.
There is definitely that element, and anyone who denies that would be living in the clouds. But I think what we do have to say that there are new loyalties that are developing. Andrew Michael Holness at 50 is developing a very loyal base. We are seeing where the age group shifts have already occurred in the body politic, and that has affected some of the constituencies. Persons will say there was a low turnout, but that's also a turnout. When persons opt not to go for their traditional support base, they're also sending a signal to who they traditionally would support. So a lot to be seen. I suspect there is time for much greater analysis. I see I see the opposition behaving as though they can call it, but we are obviously moving in a very systematic way, putting our house in order, making sure that all of our constituencies are settled in a particular manner, and getting ourselves ready.
Okay. Tell me about your ministerial portfolio now. Water, one of the big issues that have concerned the Jamaican voter for far too long.
It really is a challenge to several segments of the Jamaican society. Several large areas of geography still exist outside of our utility footprint, or within an area of our utility footprint which is not fit for purpose. Chronic disinvestment in the sector over the last 40 years is playing out. There is no part of the network that doesn't need some level of upgrade. Now, the challenge you face is, how do you get the public and populace to understand that yes, you are investing and fixing it at an unprecedented rate? And that is impatient at the bit. The opposition hasn't made this sort of investment in water. The result over the last 3 years, Cliff, is that NWC used to service 75% of the population. They now service 79% of the population. The reality is this year, over, in the range of about $20 billion will go into the water sector. Now, if you reflect on all your years covering budgets and different financial announcements and pronouncements related to the water sector, we've never had that sort of commitment. And persons will say, well, that's a number and it comes in speeches because the capital budget goes back invariably. But what I can tell you as it relates to NWC has 13 contracts awarded, valuing $7.3 billion of works to break ground in April. As the first warrant comes over from the Ministry of Finance, we'll deploy those projects. Massive projects that will deal with upwards of 150,000 persons in terms of building water resilience. And that is from the Helshaw Main Road all the way to Price Mart in Portmore, which leaks like a sieve. This is the new project that will run water from Martha Bray to the major reservoir, the terminal reservoir in Montego Bay. This is the line from Lucy to the western end of Westmoreland. This is the ferry to Rock Pond line, which will deal with everything from Cooper's Hill down in Red Hills. These are communities that have called every radio station's utility program for the last 30 years, suffering with water supply. That this year those problems are being addressed now. Some of those projects can be completed in 6 months, some can be completed in 18 months. But I think we're at the point where we're building sufficient credibility in the water sector, where when you say this will happen, it will happen in a particular time, people are now having some patience. But there's also others who are right outside where your work has terminated or complete and waiting on their phase. So I'll share with you, one of the first commissionings I ever went to when I was assigned the water portfolio was a community called New Building in St. Elizabeth. Now, New Building, marginal, goes both ways politically, has trended towards the PNP in, I'd say more than it has to the Jlp'S, but maybe 60-40, not solid either way. But right beyond it, there are two communities that have also been waiting for that time. So you're cursed daily as to why not me yet. Now, the water had to go there for me to build the lift station for us to now start the pipe work for those two communities. Similarly, when we did the work that we would have commissioned on Friday in middle quarters, when I went there to break ground, I got the yeah. We've heard this sort of thing before. Now people telling you that they have to be repiping their homes because they finally have water pressure that they just haven't been used to. So I think in several areas, certainly even what you'd recall when we commissioned the system in Port Royal, we're building that credibility to say, look, it's not perfect. It requires billions of US dollars to fix. The World Bank's assessment is that Jamaica's water sector requires $5 billion US dollars to do water and sewage for the country. That's not chicken feed. That's not going to be deployed. Even if you had all the money, that's not going to be deployed like that. It's going to take years of engineering, planning, procurement, and work. What we're trying to do is make sure that the largest population centers become water resilient in one pillar, and in the second pillar, making serious investments, which the Prime Minister will speak to on Thursday, for investments in rural water systems. Because ultimately, we don't want there to be this divergence of confidence in urban centers and confidence in rural communities as it relates to water.
May I tell you, MP Northeast St. Ann?
Yes, sir.
That I've just been told by a source related from the Jamaica Fire Brigade
that there's a fire at the Ocherius Market.
Is on
I
fire.
mean, I was in contact with the mayor of Ocherius right as we were standing to the side. 8 shops have been damaged towards the back of the market, which is the side furthest away from Main Street. It is the side of the market which is closest to the Ocherius Transport Center. 8 shops have been damaged or completely destroyed. I have no report of loss of life at this stage. Myself and Minister Mackenzie will tour the facility tomorrow morning at 9. So we assure all those affected that we will be bringing senior members of the Ministry of Local Government and of course agencies like the Social Development Commission to ensure that we're able to provide assistance as a matter of urgency to those who have lost their livelihood.
Okay. Any reason as to what caused it? Any information?
I haven't heard anything that I'd be willing to say on the radio at this stage in terms of definitive information.
Yes.
What I do want to say to those listening is that we are aware. Councillor Isaacs and His Worship the Mayor Michael Belnavis are already on the ground. The CEO of the Parish Council is en route. SDC has already been advised and is helping us with assessments. SSP Powell of the JCF has deployed a high-level team there. So all of the necessary agencies for state response are mobilized.
Yes.
And in terms of the social and economic response that will come tomorrow, post the assessments done by the SDC.
How is the parish, St. Ann? How are things looking in St. Ann for the politics?
Last year, February, in Northeast St. Ann, we won 4 of the 4 divisions in the local government. Last year, February, in Northwest St. Ann, we won 4 of the 4 political divisions. And that one is important to think about because that was maybe a month after the collapse of the Minard Well. For anyone who's familiar with Brownstown to Runaway Bay, that is a system that supplies 30,000 people with water. You ran a local government election with 2 divisions having 0 water because of the collapse of the second largest well in Jamaica. That well will be brought into full commission by the Prime Minister in 2 weeks if his schedule allows. So that issue that would have caused us great concern going into those polls in Northwest St. Ann doesn't exist today. And several of the other commitments that have been made. I saw the last work order as I was in a meeting with Minister Morgan on Spark. Some of the roads that I know are of particular concern there and some of the water projects that have long affected that community have been addressed and are being addressed at a rate that I think gives us great comfort. The Southwest Sentan is not in play. Xavier Main will be returned as Member of Parliament there.
I gather young Danishka Williams is making a fight of it.
As she should.
Yeah.
As she should, but it's not in play. Northwest Sentan, though, has traditionally leaned, though marginally, more to the PNP, will not lean that way this time. You have 4 strong councillors. You have a very good, hard-working young lady in Crystal Lee. The seat is politically aligned. There is a fair bit of investment that lifts the mood in that area.
Yes.
Northwest Sentan will not be in play, and Northeast Sentan is not a question.
Yes.
Southeast Sentan is going through a transition. Southeast Sentan of Froggy Mullins is not the Southeast Sentan of 2025. You also have a new candidate, very different personality to a Froggy Mullins and very different personality to a Lisa Hanna in terms of the PNP's representation. So though it has traditionally gone to the PNP, it is a seat that we do have our eyes on, and we are hopeful, but guardedly optimistic.
Guardedly optimistic. You came close in 2020.
We came close, and in some PDs we got the highest vote count we have ever gotten as the Jamaica Labour Party in the 2024 local government election. So even in some PDs in Claremont and otherwise, we'd never gotten some of the counts that we'd gotten in those PDs. Now Claremont is, has traditionally been very strong for the PNP. I don't know that they've ever been represented by a JLP councillor. And I think what we're seeing in the interior of the island is some of the traditional support that the PNP would have held near and dear to their heart is shifting. We won. I worked in PDs 1 to 7 with MP Xavier Main and Councillor Diane Bailey and a lot of the Sentan team in the Inantown by-election. We won a PD, albeit by one that the JLP has never won since adult suffrage.
Yeah.
So, and if you think of the geography, it's the same interior of the island that you're starting to see some significant shifts, because I believe that the investment that the Prime Minister has channeled towards rural Jamaica, some that you see, some that you wouldn't see, but that means the world to the people in those communities is starting to bear fruit, where they believe that yes, there is a chance for change. There is a chance that maybe prosperity isn't a Kingston or a Montego Bay thing. So we're seeing some very, very good indications, because when you start to win PDs that you've never won before, when you start to see margins contracting away in PDs that you never have, you see the general trajectory that you want to see.
Well, what is it you're picking up where that is concerned, Mr. Samuda, in terms of the political shifts taking place across the country?
Yeah, it's very unique. Certainly, it feels that way. Certainly I've always been into news and current affairs. I don't recall a leader having the sort of deep relationship that Andrew Michael Holness has with the society. I never take news for granted and reports or polls for granted, but I can tell you it is. I watched when Portia Simpson Miller traversed the country during her time in opposition, and the sort of love that you saw. So it was really, could see the connection that she had with society. Even Labourites would like her when they saw her in many spaces. You're seeing that like and that love with Andrew Michael Holmes, but you're also seeing the credibility because he's delivering on his commitments. He's delivering on infrastructure investments in a way that you never have. So you're moving from yes, we like you to yes, we believe you also. Which is a very big jump, and I think that itself is creating new affinity and new voting trends that
you don't think the pressure, the relentless pressure he came under towards the end of 22, 23 and 24 over this corruption issue is going to damage him, as well as the fact that it's the end of the second term. Jamaicans are not want to give parties more than 2 terms, except for the PNP stint between 89 and 2007. So
I don't discount any factor, Cliff. Certainly incumbents have not done too well globally.
Yes.
The greatest 2 opposition forces, not the JLP or the PNP, regardless of which side of the parliament they sit on, it is drought and inflation. We went to a local government election in a terrible drought, in a terrible cost of living crisis, not of our own making. Certainly a drought issue is nowhere near this year as it has been over the last 3 years, and your water investments are bearing fruit. Some of your irrigation investments in places like Essex Valley and the Southern Plains irrigation system is starting to bear fruit. And we're seeing certainly that what would have happened post-burial, you're seeing some flattening, as the Minister of Finance would have spoken to in great detail, of prices. Now, that doesn't mean that you haven't had some erosion in income. So I think there is one of the issues we'll have to deal with is those who, yes, are employed now and weren't employed previously, but employed and still not being able to achieve some of their dreams because of the inflation that we've seen over in the post-COVID world. If we're able to explain that, if we're able to show how policy change and particular investments will ensure that doesn't happen in the same way in the future, I believe we'll be fine. The greatest impact that anyone would have had with that sort of relentless attack on the Prime Minister would have him been having to deal with it, as opposed to the time that would take him to deal with, and that would have, I think, created some distraction that wouldn't have had him on the road in the way that he is. When you see this man walk into a market, when you see him walk into a town centre, there's no dancehall artist getting that forward. There's no sports star getting that forward. There's a deep love that the Jamaican people have for him, and they want him to get it right. Have we made mistakes? Every administration makes mistakes. Have there been issues that haven't been handled in the way that they should be? Absolutely, Cliff. But I think this is the most credible case any administration has ever been able to make for a third term. Question is, do you believe we can continue at this pace, and is that pace sufficient to you and your life? I think the presentation of the Minister of Finance has already made that case. I believe Prime Minister Andrew Holness will sell that very well on Thursday, and then we'll see what happens.
What about the organization of the Labour Party? The PNP has spent 8-9 years in opposition, jigging up their organization. They are at it full time. You have the vicissitudes of government to deal with. How is their organization?
They haven't spent 8-9 years, Cliff. They collapsed in 2020.
Yes.
They would have been faced by several of the same challenges we'd have been faced with during COVID, where you couldn't meet face to face and engage with your workers in the same way. So they've had 2 years, I would say, uninterrupted of organization. And I don't discount it, because we've had to rebuild the economy post-COVID. We've had to rebuild the economy again post-burial. We've had to rebuild infrastructure when damage took place. We've had to face earthquake. We've had to face several things that by themselves in any one term would be a lot for any one government to deal with. But what I can assure you, and assure Labourites listening everywhere and those who are trying to make up their mind, the Jlp'S is a well-oiled machine. This is not the Jlp of past. This Jlp is very organized and is ready whenever the Prime Minister is ready. Although I don't know why everybody believes all of a sudden is tomorrow, but whenever he is ready, we are ready.
Okay. Matthew Samuda,
and Senton is not in play.
Matthew Samuda, thank you very much for being with us, sir.
All right, good. Thank you.
Let's go to the break and come back.
Labour Rights, Kevin Frith hosts Area Council 1 meeting in St. Andrews South Eastern this Sunday, March 16 at YWCA 51 Arnold Road, 4:30 p.m. Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie rallies the team with MPs Juliet Holness, Favour Williams, Matthew Samuda, Dwayne Smith, Senators Apka Fitzhenley, Marlon Morgan, Delano Seavright, Council Caretaker Camilyn Reid and others. We ring the bell as we come to you, standing on a strong record of performance. Jlp active and strong. Area Council 1 meeting hosted by Kevin Frith this Sunday, YWCA 4:30 p.m. See you there!
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Area Council 1 meeting at YWCA School Leavers Institute, Sunday, March 16. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the West Kingston constituency and the Jamaica Labour Party. Due to the broadcast of the Area Council 1 meeting on Sunday, March 16, Jamaican Dads, Immaculate Moments, and Baha'i Faith will not be aired.
Psalm 41 and verse 11. By this I know that you favored me, O God, for you never allowed my enemies to triumph over me. Hallelujah.
You make me stronger. Oh, oh, you make me stronger. Gracias, Jesus. Watch me. From Jamaica to the Caribbean, from Spain to Colombia, from Canada to the US, Uganda. Wow. You're my creator, Lord, you know my times, seasons of breakthrough, my seasons of trial. So I will seek you, and you I will find. You're my strong tower, in you I will hide. Help me now. You make me stronger. Oh, come on. Oh, say, you make me stronger. I lift my spirit. Lord, I'll take your hand. You fix my focus. No one know who I am. Sing that song. I used to run from battles, but you made me strong. Jesus, God strong and mighty. I am that I am. Help me say, you make me stronger. Anybody could have been dead, but you're still here. Say you make me stronger. Lift your voice. Sing it again. Say, you make me stronger. The things that you've been through, you could have been dead. You could have been smoking on the street. God has been good. He's a keeper. Puerto Rico, ¿cómo estás? We're gonna go down to Honduras, El Salvador, Colombia, Bolivia, Venezuela. We're gonna sing the song in Espanol. You ready? Help me. Woo! Usted me hace más fuerte. Oh, oh, come on. Usted me hace más fuerte. Oh, come on. Oh, usted me hace más fuerte. Oh, gracias, Jesús. Oh, uno. Usted me hace más fuerte. Gracias, Jesús. Oh, back to Jamaica. You make me stronger. Let me see the wonder. Help me say, you make me stronger. Let me see the wonder. If you know you God make you. Lord, you make me stronger. Come on. Lord, you make me stronger. It's time to rejoice. God has been good. Listen, we're gonna do this in Swahili. Yeah. We're gonna go down to Mozambique, Malawi, Rwanda, Burundi, Zambia. We're gonna do this in Swahili. Yesu ufanya mimi yengu. Yesu ufanya mimi yengu. Yesu ufanya mimi
this morning I woke up and I look in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day, yeah. It's a beautiful day. So yeah, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, won't be dismayed. When I see the clock ticking away and things are not in place, everything in life happens for a reason. Disappointment comes with a lesson. It's for me to get wiser, got to work harder. In the end, it will get better. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Please don't fuss and fight. Let us unite. We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. If you got life, then give God praise. You may not have much, but you're living day by day. You can have faith and don't wanna work. Get up off that seat and put that brain to work. Hey, hey, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to the YWCA School Leavers Institute. We're coming to you live from a paid political broadcast of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, and they are introducing their speakers this evening. They're just about starting, and let's listen to the chairman of Area Council 1, Desmond McKenzie.
Matthew Samuda! Mr. Breaking News, Senator Upka Fitzhenry. Jamaica's first female Minister of Finance, Favour Williams. Councillor Caretaker Camilla Reid. Councillor Kasha Party Division Beverly Prince. Young Jamaica, Mr. Chamberlain. And labor rights, I want you to stand and to give a big shower welcome to the man of the moment, Kevin Fritz. Kevin Fritz. And so tonight, labor rights, as we get ready for business, I want you settle down, labor rights. I want you to understand that the message of hope, the reason why we must get a third term, was evident last Tuesday when you listen. You know, there's a song where say, thank God for a woman's touch. When you listen to how Minister Williams stood up, surprised them, they couldn't understand what licked them, and even now I am still waiting to hear a response to Minister Williams' budget presentation. For labor rights, I urge you not to become complacent. I urge you tonight to ensure that you keep focus on the job ahead. The last time we were successful in this constituency, 1980. This requires attention. This is not a name brand constituency. This is a constituency that has been crying out for decades for real representation. And so tonight, as we gather here, I urge you, not just Labour Party people, but the wider Jamaica, to look at your options. The work of Dr. Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. You have seen the commitment of the government. Why would you make a mistake? Why would you want to sacrifice what you have for people who can't make up their mind as to what they are about? You know, the Ethiopians have a tune, and I want to tell you that this tune fit the people them where we are talking about. Them a pirate. So labor rights, you have a good thing in Andrew Holness. Jamaicans, there is no reason why Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party should not continue in government for a third term. Never before in the history of this country have we seen so much things taking place. So when a man say nothing now go on, mischief them a make. Mischief them a make. Them trying to deny Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party its rightful place in the history books of this country. And we will never surrender to the PNP. No way! So labor rights, fellow Jamaicans who are listening, I want you to look at both political parties. Look at what we have in the Jamaica Labour Party. We have a Dr. Andrew Michael Holness. I don't know what them have. We have a Favour Williams. I don't know what them have. We have a team of committed Jamaicans. And so, as we begin the journey, let us be conscious in the things that we do. Never allow the PNP, never, when the man used to run this country, Jamaica suffer under PNP. We still have the experience of bad stewardship of the country. And now, because we're setting things right, them want come do what? We will never allow the PNP to mash up Jamaica again. And so tonight, I'm going to invite to bring you greetings and to welcome you to the constituency, the councillor caretaker for the Vineyard Town Division. Let's welcome our councillor caretaker for the Vineyard Town Division.
Under this Andrew Holness-led administration, I want each of you to know that I know everybody are gonna like we. And why you may ask? Because third term loaded! And are we still a win? As a people, as a community, and as a nation, I want to encourage each of you to remain active and strong. Constituents, on election day, do the right thing and vote for Kevin Fritz. Why you may ask? Because we not frightened of it. Nobody!
Thank you. Let's welcome from young Jamaica, a man who is working right across the country. You know him. Let's have a big hand. Former President Chamberlain.
Show a labor rights. Show a labor rights. If you're happy to be a part of the greatest political institution in the Western Hemisphere, let me hear you say, show up. Here Council 1, under the leadership of Deputy Leader, the Honorable Desmond Mackenzie, remain strong, remain focused, remain poised to defend every single seat that we have and to add to the scoreboard new seats like Southeast St. Andrew under Kevin Fritz. Just last week, our first female finance minister, Favour Williams, announced that the repayment period for SLB will move from 7 years to 10 years, making repayment costs lower for students across Jamaica. Favour Williams and the Jamaica Labour Party has single-handedly ended student poverty in Jamaica, to include with your loans the cost of housing for poor people pitting in rural Jamaica, people pitting that is far from university. And included in the loan is cost of living, cost to buy food on campus, because enough of us as students on campus, enough hungry days we go through, enough poverty, but the party cares for the young people of Jamaica. So whether them like it or not, third term is loading. Show labor rights.
Thank you. How you feeling, labor rights? It's not an easy road, but we're ready. Ready for the job at hand. One at this time, welcome the Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Andrew, young Dwayne Smith.
Show labor rights. Show labor rights. I'm here to bring you brief greetings from the JLP rich constituency of Northwest St. Andrew. Labor rights, I stand before you today as a proud Jamaican, proud of where we are coming from, proud of what we have achieved, and proud of the direction we're headed. Jamaica is not just a small Caribbean island, but it is a respected nation on the global stage. Just last week, we hosted Messi at the National Stadium, labor rights. Do you know how many games in bigger stadiums than ours that Messi was a no-show? But in Jamaica, Messi was a show. In the last 2 weeks, Messi faced Jamaica twice because Jamaica is respected on the global stage, and that is entirely because of Andrew Michael Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. Labourites, there was a time when the opposition party encouraged Jamaicans to leave. The former Prime Minister and party leader said there were 5 flights a day. But now we're witnessing a historic reversal. No more than ever, Jamaicans want to return home. Every single week in my constituency, in my capacity as a Justice of the Peace, I've been signing documents for constituents who have children who are American citizens who want Jamaican citizenship labor rights. And that's all because of Andrew Holness. Labor rights, I want to talk about crime. I know it don't feel that way. But let's deal with the facts and not fear. Violent crime in Jamaica is the lowest it has been in 25 years, labor rights. 9 years ago, the situation was a lot worse. But today, crime is trending in the right direction because this Andrew Holness government has made a bold decision to invest heavily in national security. The Jamaica Labour Party government has reformed the constabulary force. The JCF today is not the JCF of 9 years ago. We have better police vehicles, we have better police stations, and we have increased intelligence in the police force. And the result, we have fewer murders, fewer shootings, and we have much safer communities, labor rights. Labor rights, the unemployment in Jamaica, it is the lowest it has ever been in Jamaica's history. More Jamaicans are working, earning, and providing for their families than any other time in our history. This government, this is the government that builds opportunities and don't just make promise and tell lie. Labor right, our economy is stronger than it has ever been. Our reserves are at an all-time high. If we have a natural disaster or anything untoward, we can stand on our own 2 feet, labor rights. We don't need to beg for handouts, labor right. Public and private investments are at historic levels. Everywhere you look, you see new roads, new infrastructure, new housing development, new toll-free highways, labor rights. Businesses opening everywhere. That is the prosperity that was promised, and the prosperity is here, labor rights. Is Jamaica fixed? No, it isn't. We still have challenges. But prosperity is a journey, and we are moving forward, not backward. Every day we see the results. Why would any good-thinking, patriotic Jamaican want to derail this progress, labor rights? The alternative, I will tell you what the alternative is, labor rights. A PMP that is leaderless, clueless, and confused. We're in the constituency of Southeast St. Andrew. So we have to speak about a presentation that was made by the Member of Parliament in Parliament last week. I listened from the beginning of this presentation to the ending of the presentation. And as Minister Mackenzie said, after listening to that presentation, the PMP has no plan for Jamaica labor rights. There are 2 quick points I want to mention. He spoke about a derailed relationship with Jamaica and the IMF in 2011. That was 14 years ago, labor right. Well, right now, the same IMF that he speaks about came to Jamaica and recruited our very own Minister of Finance, gave Dr. Clark an offer he could not refuse. The IMF said to Dr. Clark, come to us and help us to build other countries just like how you built Jamaica. So I can tell you, there's no strained relationship with Jamaica and the IMF. He spoke about a flat water rate for pensioners. I agree. because I get the calls, Minister Samuda, about pensioners and the water bill. But those same persons are now benefiting from the amnesty program. And those same persons called to say, MP, thank the Prime Minister for me and thank young Matthew Samuda for me because the amnesty is helping us. The truth is labor rights. The PMP has no answers. They have no plan. What the PMP is doing, they are playing musical chairs with losers' labor rights. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but in politics, you either win or you lose. And the candidates that they have are losers' labor rights. Let me give you examples. Labor rights, the loudest one of them all had a constituency in St. Anne. Now him running for a seat in Westmoreland. You have a man in Westmoreland, him now gone to North Trelawney. You have a man in Hanover, him now gone to Westmoreland. Labor rights, they're all over we have a man with a big mouth over there, labor rights, who could not complete his term in East Rural St. Andrew. Then him run go Portland, get beaten there. Now I hear him all the way over in St. Catherine. Labor rights, they're all over labor rights. Now him come back, him gone to South Manchester, labor rights. Labor rights, I'm going to say this again. The PMP is playing musical chairs with losers. But labor rights, this is not a game. The PMP is not a political party, it's more like a birthday party. Full of losers, passing around constituencies like party favors. Labor rights, this is not a game. This is your future. So I ask you, labor rights, will we continue on the path of prosperity, progress, and strong leadership? Or will we hand back Jamaica to a party that has failed us before and has no plan for the future? Labor rights, Minister Mackenzie said it. The choice is clear. Let us give Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party a third term in office. Let us continue with a stronger, safer, and a more prosperous Jamaica. Show our labor rights.
And so, you know, we as a party, we are active, we are strong. We are delivering on the commitments that we have made. And we are here to talk about the performance of your party. Every man and every woman inside here tonight, and those on the outside, should be proud of Dr. Andrew Holness and the performance of the Jamaica Labour Party. And so, we are here tonight to speak about the goodness of the Jamaica Labour Party under Dr. Holness as leader. Every man and every woman should walk holding your heads high and say, I am proud to be a Labourite. And why you are proud? You have a prime minister. You have a leader that is caring, understanding. He knows what to do. And so tonight, Area Council 1 wants to be a part of this crusade of spreading the good news about the Jamaica Labour Party. And one such good news is a young man who has been around for quite a long time. Came up out of G2K have been doing a tremendous job of work helping to promote tourism in this country. He has done well. Most Honorable Prime Minister appointed him to the Senate. And tomorrow morning, he will become Minister in the Ministry of Tourism. On labor rights, Jamaicans, this is an indication of building the kind of foundation to continue to move Jamaica forward. What a Prime Minister. What a move. Let's welcome Sim Right.
So, labor rights, and to our listeners on the radio, so you know we have to keep the speech very professional so we can connect with each and every Jamaican that is listening to us at this point in time. So, show our labor rights. I thank the leadership, Deputy Leader Desmond Mackenzie, distinguished minister, senators, Dwayne, Junior Maxwell, and the great team of Southeast St. Andrew. Coming in, nice to see you. But beyond that, let's also point out the Speaker of the House, the most Honorable Juliet Holness. And our Bunununus, Minister of Finance, the Honorable Favored Williams. But critically, you have a phenomenal caretaker in the form of Kevin Frith. Labor rights, we are active and strong. Here we have Southeast St. Andrew with the great Kevin Frith. You know Kevin's background. Kevin did phenomenal work as a beverage distributor in this country across several parishes. Kevin is a phenomenal game-changing entrepreneur. Kevin understands housing. Kevin understands real estate. As a matter of fact, labor rights, when you look at the game-changing developments that the most Honorable Andrew Holness has ushered into the parish of St. Thomas with a brand new highway, everything you can think of, Kevin Frith has that game-changing housing and real estate project that is a game changer for St. Thomas. So on a regular leader you have here in Southeast St. Andrew today. But beyond that, we hear that Kevin kind, and my God, that is a winning combination, Kevin. But as labor rights, and I know many of you here from 2007, it is because a lot of women in here know and understand the politics and the parties in not into no joke business when it comes to Southeast St. Andrew. Now, Southeast St. Andrew, my friends, is a phenomenal and unique seat. Southeast St. Andrew have the National Stadium, you have the National Arena, you have the National Indoor Sports Center, you have the New Kingston Business District, you have the library, you have the Jamaica Defense Force, You have national security installations all over the city, all over here in Southeast St. Andrew. You have all the major hotels in Southeast St. Andrew. This constituency is the mitochondria of the city of Kingston, says Shower Labor Rights. So, it is fortuitous that you have someone like Kevin Frith, who has that entrepreneurial energy, who understands the importance of housing and affordable housing. That's a hallmark and a key principle and focus of this Andrew Holness-led administration, says Shower Labor Rights. So what you have is a constituency. 3 new hotels built under the Jamaica Labour Party in this constituency alone. The Courtyard Marriott, the AC Marriott Hotel, and the R Hotel. All in this constituency under the leadership of Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And beyond that, you have a man here, and I will call him Such Man. And Such Man gave a presentation in Parliament. And it is clear to me, Labour Rights, that Such Man is making an attempt, a serious attempt, Marlon, at trying to dismiss the view that the PNP has no plan. Because honestly, it's been in opposition, and we are yet to hear a definitive plan from them on how they, Senator Morgan is here and Senator Fitzgerald are here, and they will go into it. But that's one or two. One, him have a way to make up history. Him, let me tell you, I cannot believe how the PNP can look, and we, an administration that have recorded so much economic progress and so much economic success, can seek to steal our success and say we were the ones who built the success for you. After they mash up the country in the 1990s under P.J. Patterson, and then Portia Simpson Miller, and then we had to take it. We'll get lit by an economic crisis under Bruce Goldie administration. Then them come back in, and our own Prime Minister has acknowledged the work of Dr. Peter Phillips. He did. But it is us who have put this country on the path of sustained growth and development. Nobody else. And what has happened, you know, and I see him have to make an attempt because he's one of the more cogent ones here. You had another Such Man who is a spokesperson on education. Last year, June, him talking to the Association of Secondary School Principals. This is not no joke. I mean, you sit down, you're meeting with a group of principals, and you are the opposition spokesperson in education. And your grand idea to address some of the issues in education is to add 1% on the GCT that all the way have to pay to address some of the issues in education. That show them don't have no plan, them don't have no thinking, because they have a tax focus similar to what they had when Omar Davis was there, Shower Labor Rights. And we must watch these things. Anyway, they run out and apologize and say, no man, you know them man they talk and don't listen to him, not go so. All right. We know the man. And we know that Such Man is a man who loves to talk, so we love it. Lo and behold, the General Secretary of the party in January, speaking to farmers and other people in St. Elizabeth, said, boy, my solution to deal with some of the agriculture problems is to put a tax on food coming into the place so he can raise the price of food in the country. That's a General Secretary, saying that. So here we are now. We have delivered so much for the people of Jamaica that it is really hard for them to figure out what to come with and what to say. Him come and say he's going to give $1 billion to content creators. And I said to myself, Minister Samuda, I said, but I could have swear we're giving $1 billion already to content creators under the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative that the Prime Minister announced in January last year with Jampro, with Minister Arbin Hill and others. The program is running, 406 applications submitted. When him say, announce. So I say, what is happening here? So it's as if them literally copying also what we doing and re-announcing what we doing. So I could not believe that this man, such man, decided to take up so much time carrying things that we already are doing, but I understand the struggle. Favour Williams, Tuesday in the Parliament of Jamaica. And labour rights, do not limit our campaign to labour rights only. We are active and strong, and the third term is loading. We must communicate with JLP, PNP, NOP, everybody, because we have shown that we have a plan and that we act on our plan and that we have a vision and we know how to move this country forward. So labour rights, remind them that is we cut GCT from 16.5% to 15%. So we don't want that such man to put back now 1% on the GCT sexual labour rights. Remind them that we move minimum wage from $6,200 a week to $15,000 a week. 142% increase in minimum wage under the leadership of Andrew Michael Holness. Where else in the world have you heard statistics like that? Where else in the world have you seen minimum wage literally triple? And if them say inflation, our team did the calculation, the minimum wage is 3 times ahead of the inflation rate. We must also remind them that we basically triple the income tax threshold from $590 income tax threshold when we come into government in 2016 to $1.7 million today, where we nearly triple it, and we're carrying it to $2 million. That is active and strong, and that is the third term loading. And when last you see a government give away so much money? Seriously. Honestly. You have a reverse income tax. What's it? Reverse income tax credit or whatever, right, Minister? I mean, it's so much ways that the JLP find to give you back your money. Everybody get $20,000. I was in my office the other day. People that do this, I said, what you do? Oh, get my 20,000 party. I get 20,000 from. I said, so you can get the 20,000 too. Like, what am I for do? $11 billion budgeted by the Andrew Michael Holness administration to give back to the Jamaican people. We are active and strong. But we not even stop there. We give back so much money. Now we say, all right, let's cut GCT and electricity bills by half your light bill, and all of us are relieved by that, and with nominal policies and programs that benefit each and every Jamaican. JLP, PNP, no new taxes for the entire. No new taxes. Labor rights. Kevin Frith represents what the JLP is about. It's about growth. It's about prosperity. It's about giving back money and not taking money out of your pocket and finding all sorts of ways to increase taxes. Kevin Frith is a developer and a seat like Southeast St. Andrew that is critical to the growth and development of the city of Kingston. Needs somebody who is practical, who understand what it is to lose money, who understand what it is for you to build house, and you have to deal with contract and peer problems. Business owners know it too. That is what you need, somebody who is real and on the ground. Thank you, dear Bryce. Say shout.
And you know, the things that he just said, he spoke about the performance of the party that you love, the goodness of the Jamaica Labour Party, active and strong in building a better country for every single Jamaican. Let's welcome now Senator Marlon Morgan.
Labor rights. When you're at a political rally and you hear lively vibes from Half Pint, you know, say a problem time. That labor rights, the organization and the support here in Southeast St. Andrew is looking. Must commend your standard bearer, designate Kevin Fritt, for pulling the team together in the way he has. You heard Delano a while ago telling you about such man. Such man who is a four-term MP. But I get a little message to deliver to him on behalf of Kevin Fritt. I was simply saying to him tonight, labor rights, this is no disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect, brother man. This is no disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect, but could you step aside now? Another man, labor rights, is here to take over. Labor rights, between 2012 much, I never hear from her much. And she or hear her. It is because she is. Well, we have an active and strong Prime Minister. And every Friday, labor rights, our Prime Minister up on the road. And if him now commission new water systems along with water boss Matthew Samuda, he is handing out houses under the new social housing program. And when him now hand out houses under the new social housing program, our is of course handing out keys in some new NHT scheme around the country. When him now hand out keys, our active and strong Prime Minister, our caring and focused Prime Minister, is at some plant cutting the ribbon for the opening of a new hotel or an expanded hotel, as was the case in Hanover a few weeks ago. So labor rights, we see our Prime Minister, he is active, he is on the job, and we can rest assured that we hear from him and we know that our Prime Minister is working, working, working labor rights. And there can be no doubt about that. Labor rights. Some of us ventured to Parliament this past Tuesday as Jamaica's first woman finance minister took to her feet and opened the budget debate. And our Bonono's finance minister reeled off no fewer than 21 good news. And as I sat there and listened to Favour dealing with the thing in her own style, I said to myself, like Desmond, Favour, come out, goody, come right out, labor rights. And like a mailman, she delivered. Labor rights, you heard from Howard Chamberlain earlier in relation to our continued reforms under the Student Loan Bureau. We are going in the right direction, labor rights, making higher education more accessible to our young people here in Jamaica, and of course, reducing the costs that they have to endure and grapple with as they seek to become qualified. Labor rights, we know that illegal throw-ups present some safety hazards. Every so often you hear, unfortunately, news stories on the news that a house was engulfed in flames, and in some instances you hear of people losing their lives because of illegal electricity connection. So we are proud of the pathway the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government is creating to regularize electricity connection in the country. Labor rights, we as a government believe that every Jamaican cater only to the tapanaris among us. We are pleased that as a government, we are going to be making insurance facilities more accessible and affordable to you through micro-insurance legislation, labor rights. Labor rights, we heard from Suchman the other day that they will be seeking to provide corporate income tax relief to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. What he didn't say to the country is that in many instances, particularly in the first few years of their operations, many micro, small, and medium-sized entities do not end up turning a profit so that they would end up being eligible to pay corporate income tax. So what we want you to understand tonight, labor rights, is that your strong and resilient and active Jamaica Labour Party is essentially providing $2 billion to the people in the country who are responsible for employing the vast majority of you in the workforce in this country. Our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And so $2 billion through the DBJ to help our small businesses attain appropriate standards that would help them to be more profitable, help them to have a strong and resilient foundation as a business establishment, labor rights. That is being brought to you. That is being built out by labor. And so labor rights, you can rest assured, because Minister Williams spent quite a bit of time in her presentation this past Tuesday, reassuring all our stakeholders, including you, the consumers in Jamaica, that the government will be maintaining what is called fiscal discipline. In other words, responsible management of the money as we move forward. And of course, as you know, and no disrespect to the men in the room, but nobody handles finances and money better than a strong, industrious, and proud Jamaican woman. And so, labor rights, we are happy that just like Scotia, Jamaica is safe with us. Labor rights, with the budget debate providing an opportunity for people on that side to speak. And with the general elections being constitutionally due by September of this year. The budget debate, as we anticipated, and because some people see what the polls are saying, they are going to be coming out with their promises, promising this, that, and every what's it not. But labor rights, I want you to understand that our platform of manifesto commitments, our plans and programs for the country is superior and vastly better than anything the dilapidated PNP can come with. And so I say to Jamaica this evening, take sleep and mark that. Pay close attention to what confronts us as a country. You have a set of people who don't have any credible and coherent plans to move Jamaica forward. When them now plagiarize our plans, they are coming with things that may well not be sustainable. And as you know, labor rights, an election, a manifesto plan, an election promise is only as good as a political party's ability and capacity and track record to implement those plans. Because if Jamaica were to follow those people on that side, the gains, the hard-fought gains that we have secured in the country may be imperiled. And we cannot afford. It is a forward-ever situation, labor rights. Backward, never. Certain man will be speaking in the budget debate on Tuesday. But we have to advise Jamaica of one thing. Golding cares for only vanity. He has no love for. He shall fade away, fade away. Mark Golding cares for silver and pearls and don't have no love in this world. He shall fade away, fade away. So labor rights, you are with the bigger, better team. You are with competent handlers of the economy. We are moving forward. We are active and strong. And your Jamaica Labour Party government has been working. We have been working, and we will be deserving of a third term. That is our message to the people of Jamaica. And so labor rights, as I come down, rest assured that the upcoming general elections is going to be one of the most important and consequential in the history of our country. All the issues, the key issues confronting Jamaica today, including cost of living, are being addressed by your strong and resilient government. And that is what is making Jamaica strong and resilient. So labor rights, we want you to choose the responsible set of people. We want you to choose a strong economy, a stable economy, a resilient economy, a country that is being managed well. We want you, labor rights, no labor rights at all, PNP people as well, to choose Jamaica and vote for the Jamaica Labour Party when the Prime Minister flies the gate. Because just to be clear, labor rights, if them over there, so when the Prime Minister rises to his feet on Thursday to make his contribution to the budget debate, they will realize, say, we just are come. And so labor rights, I encourage you here in Southeast St. Andrew, to stay the course. Organize, and bring out the votes so that on that great day, Kevin Frith will be in the number. Southeast St. Andrew will be in the winning column. I love your labor rights. One love labor rights.
You know labor rights? We can stay here till tomorrow and talk about the goodness, the performance, the achievement of your party. And every man and every woman inside this auditorium tonight, and those of you on the outside, must continue to give God thanks and praise for Dr. Andrew Holness and the goodness of the Jamaica Labour Party. Let's welcome Mr. Breaking News, Senator Apka.
Everybody up. Give them all.
Apka.
Yeah, give them all. Come and do. Spend a couple dump here. Make the club share. Living legend on the asphalt. No, the must here. Slim gather.
Show our labor rights. Show our labor rights. It is good to be with the Area Council 1, Southeast St. Andrew, Jamaica Labour Party family. I'm a bit under the weather, so I won't stay up here long. But I have a couple key messages that I could not decline the opportunity to use this platform to deliver to you. The first one is that you have a solid caretaker, Kevin Frith. Kevin doesn't know this, but when I was in media, a young lady came to me and she said, there's a young man by the name of Kevin Frith. I don't know how young you are anymore, Kevin, but that's what was said to me a couple of years ago. And she says he came from humble beginnings. And he has built himself and put himself in people and assisting people to make better for themselves. The young lady said to me, you have to contact Kevin and you have to tell his story. It didn't quite happen, but I'm proud to stand here today on the platform of Area Council 1 and assure you, residents of Southeast St. Andrew, that you have a solid, a competent, and a caring candidate in Kevin Frith. And I want to put the incumbent member of Parliament on notice that his days as standard bearer and representative in the House of are numbered, because Kevin Frith, with the full backing of the Jamaica Labour Party Area Council, show our labour rights. The next point I want to make is that general elections are constitutionally due in September. We don't know when it will be called, but as our deputy leader indicated, it is the duty of the various arms and organs of the party to put the party leader in a position that whenever he's ready, he can go forth and be further confident that a third term is delivered for the Jamaica Labour Party. The communication department of the Jamaica Labour Party has shifted into another gear. We have a couple more gears to go, and I drive up and down the carpet area and I see people putting up signs on the other side. But labor rights be calm. Let them go and dole out their money. We are proceeding, and we are taking our time, and we are pacing ourselves. Because when that day comes and we hit high gear, the third term will be assured for the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. Before I come down, I want to deliver another key message. The Jamaica Labour Party and the other side were not the same. The Jamaica Labour Party is active and strong in seeking to secure the interest of the people of Jamaica. Here a man on the other side So him want to go to Jamaica House because him want to run the country with a set of Tapanaris. Andrew Michael Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party, we don't believe in that. We're a party founded out of the bowels of the poor and the working class in Jamaica. And we are faithful to that mission of empowering the masses, whichever sector of Jamaican society that they come from. And in so doing, we have been delivering for the people of Jamaica. You have our deputy leader on the platform, and some people don't like when I say it, but the greatest local government minister in the history of independent Jamaica, Desmond Mackenzie. And I don't say that lightly, because this fact cannot be contested. The local government ministry under the leadership of Desmond Mackenzie has delivered more for poor people via indigent housing, care packages, shelters than any local government ministry in the history of Jamaica. The Jamaica Labour Party is active and strong in delivering for the people of Jamaica. The other side imposed $60 billion of taxes on the people of Jamaica in their last term. The government of Andrew Michael Holness has gone approximately 10 consecutive years of no new taxes. Them tax party, them tax handcart vendor. The Jamaica Labour Party believes in putting money back into the pockets of the people of Jamaica to give you a chance to provide for yourself and your families. We are active and strong for the people of Jamaica. It is the government of Prime Minister Andrew Michael Holness that remove fees from the HEART program because we believe in the young people. The hypocrites on the other side said we could not cut income tax because it will mash up the economy. But the Jamaica Labour Party government come to office and we do that twice because we are active and strong in caring for the people of Jamaica. On the other side, you have a set of hypocrites because they said it couldn't be done. And then I hear them calling for it to be done because they have no principles. They are hypocrites. And they will say whatever them feel is popular just because they are desperate for political power. I urge you to reject that hypocrisy and unprincipled conduct of the opposition party. And finally, to underline them hypocrisy, I hear them in Parliament calling for referendum concerning Portmore. But this is the same people, when we talk about CCJ, they say, no, we are not to consult the people. These are a set of hypocrites who should not be given a chance to govern the affairs of Jamaica. I hear a man in Parliament talking about Portmore and gerrymandering. Another example of the hypocrisy, because that same man who was kicked out of central Manchester and now he moved to the next constituency, him is on tape. I talk about them cut a seat to make it a PNP seat. Labour rights, my Jamaican family, we cannot afford to give back the reins of this country to these unprincipled, hypocritical people who are desperate for political power. It is the government of the Jamaica Labour Party that has delivered for poor people in this country. We have delivered for the business sector. We have increased pensions and delivered for the senior citizens. And therefore, we ask you to choose the Jamaica Labour Party because we are the party that choose Jamaica. Show our labor rights. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Hold on. Wanna just sit down, sir? Get up, labor rights. Run something in them blood, Sandre.
Shout.
Shout labor rights. You know labor rights? I want you to understand that we're not here to cuss nobody. We're not here being disrespectful to any individual. We are here tonight to reason with you, to talk to the country, to give an update of the stewardship of the Jamaica Labour Party government, Andrew Michael Holness. Others don't have anything to talk about. They wish they could. As I said to you, we must never be ashamed to talk about the goodness of the Jamaica Labour Party, active and strong. And so, she rule East Rural. She's strong, firm, and as the poll said the other day, 54% of women love Dr. Michael Andrew Holness. And the strength of a woman has been amplified by what Dr. Andrew Holness has done in promoting women in this country. Let's welcome Member of Parliament for East Rural, St. Andrew, and Speaker Jlp'S Holness.
Juliet Holness have the place away, so we know what we do. On election day, East Rural St. Andrew, seat of his stay, we not carry opposition of his stay. Every night me told that's a whole reason with brogat. After now they get a youth to get more job, agriculture, education and youth program. And she now left out the farmer man. Then Father God, every night when me go my bed to sleep, you know we not be worried cause we have food to eat.
Showers of blessings, labor rights. I'm enjoying this meeting. I am taller. I am enjoying this meeting. And you know what is special about the meeting? I love it. I love the symbol of the Jamaica Labour Party ringing at every Jamaica Labour Party meeting. Keep walking with your bells. Labour rights, I bring to you greetings from East Rural St. Andrew, a very rough constituency, large, rough terrain. Every time it rains, our roads mash up. However, we learned as a constituency that in order for us to develop, we need a good, strong government. And our constituency is working very hard. Every one of us, from MP right down to the Labourite who is a runner. Sorry, Labourites, from MP down to the Labourite who is a runner, we are working to ensure that when the bell rings, we will have a chance at securing for the people of Jamaica for the people of East Rural a third term in government. Every time I hear some concepts in the parliament, I go back to my own constituency and I ask them what they think it means. So one of the major ones I find give us some challenge. When we talk about moving the GDP to debt from 149% down to 68%. How many people understand what that means for this country? How many? So you hear it, it's so nice, but not everybody understand what it means. So let me give it to you in a basic way. When I came a while ago, I said, Mr. Frit, there are some things that require that man and woman work together from the household. So when Juliet earned 100,000, but Juliet owe $150,000. Every month she earned 100,000, and every month she still owe 150,000. Tell me, how many schools can you build? Tell me, how many tablets can you give out? Tell me, how do you pay the teachers more? Tell me how you build the highways. Tell me. So that is what it meant when we spoke about owing a whole heap of money and can't pay versus no. How did we get here? Purposeful, meaningful, dedicated work from the team in the Jamaica Labour Party. So Andrew Holness and the cabinet and every member of parliament and every councillor and everyone working for a better government understood that in order for us to grow the country, we have to pay down our debt. We have to earn more as a country. So it feels good when Juliet earned not just 100,000, but she move up the money to $120,000 a month, and now she only owes $60,000 a month. So what does that mean for us? It is the reason why we have been able to provide 300 more homes, not built from board anymore, but built from solid concrete to the people of Jamaica. Shout, 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 shout. It is the reason why our students and our teachers can boast. Students getting 15,000 new tablets, teachers getting vouchers for 25,000 new tablets. That is improving our education and ensuring that our students have access to the technology. It is because we are doing better as an economy. Now I remember driving one time to Manchester. I tell you, after I go through poor Rust, I go. About 2 hours and I started to drive a little bit too fast. However, after the new highway, Jlp'S, me reach. And I started to wonder, when some people talk about building and improving all these roads and highways, if they understand what it does. Can you imagine, instead of taking 2 hours to reach to work, you can reach work in 30 minutes? What the if you're hauling goods from Kingston to Montego Bay, 1.5 hours less to get there, what it means for your cost, and therefore the cost of the goods that you carry? All of this comes right back to us, the people of Jamaica. So when I walk my constituency, and particularly today, and I saw them fixing the road, and I said, but I don't see anybody from East Rural working here, and start to cuss, cause me miserable sometimes. Me say, where are the people from the constituency on the road? They say, we're trying to get them, ma'am. But I'm tired because with unemployment below 5%, everybody at work, we don't have anybody me and Minister Williams, I can tell you at my work day in Tower Hill today, a man that have on a very, very bright orange vest come to me and say, tell Minister Favour Williams, say, she busts well like BG Kite. And I'm going to tell you why he said that. Him very intelligent, and him start to appreciate that the country is doing better, the country is growing. And though we were there mixing concrete to fix our rural road, he was able to say, and know we had a good finance minister with Nigel Clark who left before, and I did a worry for the Jlp. But guess what? Minister Favour Williams, she shocked me. And he was so proud. And he said something more. He said, when my man come, my man couldn't manage because she do everything already. She never leave nothing for him to come and speak about. And so the confidence continues in this Jamaica Labour Party government and the team being able to build from strength to strength to strength. Labour rights. A lot of persons complain about crime for a long time. All of us know, almost that the investment that was supposed to take place in improving both investigation. So, a reduction, 24%, was not heard about. It wasn't heard about. So when you hear other people talking, if crime was going up, they would give us a beating. But it is going down, down, down. And we are going to keep it that way because we as Jamaicans want to continue to live in a more and more and more prosperous country. So labor rights, I know you have a long night. Kevin Fritz said to me he was coming to this constituency, Southeast St. Andrew. And I said, that's a challenge. It's a rough constituency. A hard constituency to go take on. But hear me now. I can tell you from my own experience as a member of parliament. In 2016, we won about 16 seats. Not many. We became government. And people started to realize that in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they saw constituencies developing. Work was being done. They have MPs that working hard. And guess what? Mr. Fritz, them look at it and say, but me and vote for them other people here for 40 years, 50 years. Me not have no water. Me still not have any road. You know what they said to me? With good members of parliament, a good government, we can see the difference. And guess what? By 2020, there were 49 persons from the Jamaica Labour Party there in government, building constituencies. So Mr. Fritz, as a man who is a strategist, a businessman, a developer, a hard worker, and one who, when I asked him, are you crazy? You want to take on a constituency that's going to be expensive? You want to take on a constituency, I don't know if you have all the votes there to be able to win? And you know what Mr. Fritz said? This is my family. This is my home. This is where my business will be. And this is where I am planted. He is confident in victory. And guess what? I will not be the only one to give him help and support. Every single member of the Jamaica Labour Party, every single worker of the Jamaica Labour Party must go out and give Kevin Fritz that support, because like the constituencies that won in 2016, that won in 2020, and can finally compare Us and the good work, the good news, the prosperity, versus them and their poor performance. Your constituency will have a chance, will be able to step up to better representation. So labor rights, go out and work because you can do it and you will do it. Labor rights, we have a duty. We don't only work hard because of the love of the party. The biggest reason why all of us work so hard as members of parliament, as councillors, as workers of the party, as a cabinet, is because we have chosen Jamaica. Jamaica, the place for us to work, live forever until God calls us home. And because we choose Jamaica, we will continue to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity. Showers of blessings, laborers. Ring the bell, let every know. Labor right, we ready now. Get the anthem ready now. The river coming down, no back to back, it coming down. The river coming down, no back to back, it coming down. Labor right coming down, no back to back, it coming down.
You know, labor rights, I feel good tonight. You know why? I see you sitting down and you're taking in the message that is coming from the platform. So when you go back home, nobody can fool you, no. Nobody can tell you no lies. All that you can say when people talk, that your government is active and strong and working in building, in strengthening a better Jamaica. And when Jamaica is good, all of us is good. And when you have good government, you get good representation. When you have bad and poor government, what you get? So ladies and gentlemen, we have ministers that are performing. Ministers who understand the concerns of the Jamaican people. Water has been a major problem. Never before in the history of Jamaica has any government invest in water like what the Andrew Holness-led government has been doing. I want to remind you that some of the major investments in water has been done by the Jamaica Labour Party. In the 80s, when Kingston was crying out for water, the late most honorable Edward Siaga of Vision, that are going over to Yalas and tap into the water and to bring it into Kingston. People say this man is a madman. And today, if the vision of Edward Siaga did not materialize, Kingston and parts of St. Andrew would be worse off. Your government has invested in water, and we are seeing that being played out right across Jamaica. And he started in Area Council 1. Started in G2K. One time he was in Eastern St. Andrew. Then the Honorable Prime Minister appointed him to the Senate as a young man. And he has gone through the rounds serving this country, delivering performance. Because that is what the Jamaica Labour Party is built on. Our foundation is performance. And so tonight, ability for water and member of parliament, welcome Matthew Samula.
Show our labor rights. Why Southeast St. Andrew? Area Council 1 family, in many ways, this is a homecoming. But look like Labour Right River come down bank to bank for Kevin Fritt. It look like MP in waiting, Kevin Fritt. Allow me to acknowledge your deputy leader, my forever deputy leader, Minister of Local Government, Member of Parliament for West Kingston, the Honourable Desmond Mackenzie. And whereas Minister Mackenzie will take you through history lessons, he leaves out many of the details because Desmond Mackenzie don't afraid to give young people a chance to represent the people of Jamaica. But Mas Kevin, I don't want you surprised when you get certain phone calls. Because as he said, he believes in service, he believes in quality of delivery. So if you're slipping, Minister Mackenzie is going to call you. Don't be disheartened, it is encouragement. Allow me to acknowledge friends and family on the platform, officers of Area Council 1, members of the Secretariat. I saw Deputy General Secretary Delroy Williams, the great feather here earlier. Members of Parliament, senators, councillors, MP caretakers, councillor caretakers. Labour Rights All, it is a joy to be here with you this evening. Why? Because Southeast St. Andrew is really looking good. It is really looking like you are ready for that change. It is looking like you are ready to embrace Kevin Frith. It is looking like you have said it is our time to take the JLP in Southeast. And it is obvious that so because we say shower, because of the history of the Jamaica Labour Party. It is obvious that because of the leadership of Andrew Michael Holness and because the JLP is active and strong, you're saying it is indeed Kevin Fritt time to go forward. Time for the JLP in Southeast St. Andrew. But Labour Rights is Sunday evening and there's a lot to go through. And I don't want to spend too long because the big bad Minister of Finance is also here in the Honourable Favour Williams off of her maiden presentation. But I've listened to the responses to her phenomenal presentation. And I can tell you, the opposition is as bankrupt of ideas as they left the NWC bankrupt in 2015. I listened and I heard this concept of the 4 C's. And I said to my colleague and friend, Senator Fitzhenley, that not sound familiar to you. Where that coming from? And we rack our brain and we say, but there's a gentleman who we all know
as leader of the opposition, as Andrew Michael Holness in 2012 rolled out the plan that he's using under the 5 E's, and this man come with 4 E's now. In 2012, Andrew Michael Holness told you he would fix Jamaica by focusing on education, focusing on fixing the economy, focus on bringing down energy prices, focus on efficiency, and focus on protecting the environment. This man say him no business with the environment, him just leave out that part and take everything else. You know, sister, them come in like some old pirate. You know, sister, them come in like old pirate. Now, if that was bad enough, nothing no wrong. If you're in government or you're in opposition, acknowledge when something is good. Nothing is wrong with saying that idea is working, that idea is helping people, but I would have do it like this or I would have tried something different. But they refuse to admit that this government is not just active and strong, but is a caring government. When we announced in November at the Jlp'S conference, when the Prime Minister stood up and said it was time to make sure that people felt that care, that they felt that love, and we were very concerned about our pensioners, about our and were cut off from the National Water Commission system. And he said, it is time we give you an amnesty. We're going to write off those bills for you. We're going to take the burden of that debt off of the backs of our pensioners, off of the backs of the poorest in society. The PNP cuss it. They say it wasn't well thought out. Them say nothing can work like that. I am happy to report, Deputy Leader, Minister of Finance, that as of Friday gone, the Water Commission has removed $600 million off of the backs of poor people, off of the backs of our pensioners, and they have already reconnected just under 3,000 Jamaicans who were suffering. But I go further. 22,000 Jamaicans have already made contact with the NWC. Of that 22,000, I am happy to report that 2,800 of them have already been reconnected. I am happy to report, and I'm giving you the exact numbers, that 3,200 are approved for connection, approved to get the write-off, just need to sign and they'll be connected in the coming week. The benefit. And because we're working through the benefits, because we're making sure that poor people get the help they need, because we're taking care of our pensioners, the Prime Minister instructed on Friday that we should extend the amnesty to help Jamaicans. There are more details to come, labor rights, but that is for Thursday. So I encourage you to remember and to tell all labor rights and all Jamaicans to tune in to the budget speech. But just know that as of tonight is $600 million of debt that poor people and pensioners did have to NWC that we write off, that Andrew Michael Holness write off to take care of pensioners with water. Now, I hear them now say that them going to introduce flat rate for pensioners. That is a knee-jerk reaction to the fact that we have already helped pensioners with them water rate with what we're doing here. But as the Prime Minister say, any idea to help Jamaican people is something we're going to listen to. But let me tell you the problems with this particular suggestion. It is not well thought out. Your bill, your water account is tied to your address. Very few people, when they rent a house, change the name on that account. So this suggestion will set up a level of fraud that would bankrupt the NWC if it was to go through. It would also not encourage conservation, as we know every drop counts. So this is one of those gimmicks that the PNP come with. This is one of those things that we know they did in the past when them bankrupt the NWC. We're not going to allow them to bankrupt the NWC again. We're not going to allow them to bankrupt Jamaica again. Never again should they have control of the water sector in this country. But labor rights, I said to you, yes, we've removed the debts for pensioners who were suffering because of NWC leaks. But that is not the last thing we are going to do for our pensioners' labor rights. I assure you that on Thursday, we're going to roll out a suite of measures that deal with the cost of living crisis, that ensure that pensioners can afford water, that ensure that those on path can afford water. But there's a better way to do it than a fixed rate labor rights. But I am not going to make that announcement this evening. But I assure you, we're not going to allow them to bankrupt NWC. But we are also not going to leave our pensioners suffering and struggling in Jamaica, because this government cares. This government takes its responsibility very seriously. Minister Mackenzie told you about the Jlp'S pipeline. Many people hear the name Rural Water Supply Limited. That company was founded as the engineering solution to put in place the Jlp'S pipeline to fix the water problems of Kingston. In 2016, we were called upon once again to fix the water problems of Kingston and St. Andrew. When we came to government, 72% of the water that was caught, stored, processed would go into the pipes and leak. That's what you call NRW. The whole of the pipe them did a leak. The pipe did rotten down under the PNP for 40 years of disinvestment. We have cut those leaks in Kingston and St. Andrew to 37% down from 72% labor rights. In 2015, you needed 55 million gallons of water a day for Kingston and St. Andrew. Mr. Fritz, you know how much house bill in Kingston and St. Andrew since 2016. You see how much high-rise bill because prosperity has come to Jamaica. You see how much hotel bill. And even with all that construction, with all the building in Kingston and St. Andrew, you only need 37 million gallons a day now, because we have cut the leaks in Kingston and St. Andrew and we're fixing the water commission. But we're not finished. We're not finished labor rights. Last year, we broke ground on the Rio Cobre water treatment plant. This plant, just like what Edward Siaga did with Jlp'S, will ensure that 15.5 million gallons of water comes into the corporate area every single day when complete, and it will be done in 20 months labor rights. It is a $92 million project. So we are fixing the water for the parish of Portmore, and we're fixing the water for the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew. Now 15 million gallons of water sound like a lot. But let me tell you what it is and what it means for you. You remember the drought of 2022, the driest ever Kingston and St. Andrew has ever been. The worst drought in our history in 2022. Minister Mackenzie, you'll remember when we were trucking, there were even fights. We had to ask the police to help us to protect the truckers to make sure that people could get their water. In drought, the worst we've ever had, Kingston and St. Andrew was short 12 million gallons a day in the worst drought. This water treatment plant is going to give you for 50 years 15 million gallons a day. It means when we finish, Kingston and St. Andrew now going to know nothing about drought again. Because the Labour Party is building resilience. It is active and strong, and it is investing in your present and your children's future. But labor rights, we don't have no illusion that there are still challenges in Kingston and St. Andrew. Minister Williams spoke about how easy it was to approve the $10.1 billion that she given to the NWC this year. And I can tell you, as residents of Kingston and St. Andrew, you're getting your fair share. Anybody here from West Rural St. Andrew know the water challenges from Cooper's Hill come straight down to Western and to Northwest St. Andrew. In April, this is March 16th, in 2 weeks, when the first warrant comes over from the Ministry of Finance, we are going to break ground on the ferry to Rock Pond line and spend 1.2 billion Jamaican dollars and correct once and for all the water problems in Red Hills. That project will take 15 months, but we're breaking ground in April. It is under contract. The procurement done. It come to infrastructure committee and cabinet already. Once the money come over in April, we start in the work. Labor rights. It is not lost on me that residents of East Rural have some particular water challenges. And your MP, Speaker of the House, Mrs. Holness, can tell you we're on the phone up to this morning looking at solutions. So whether it is in Mavis Bank or Garden Town, whether you are in Constitution Hill or you have a lot of leaks in Harborview, I assure you, listen to the speech on Thursday. There are good things coming for the citizens of East Rural St. Andrew with water. Now those listening in places like Northeast St. Ann, Minister Mackenzie, wouldn't understand that you have sections of the corporate area that because the PNP didn't invest for 40 years when they had control of the country, certainly at their knock when they had their 22-year span, you have sections of the corporate area that have very high NRW. Areas of West Kingston not getting the right water flow. The Prime Minister said that can't continue. We had a very detailed conversation, Minister Mackenzie. Of that $10.1 billion being allocated by Minister Williams, $1.4 billion, Minister Mackenzie, is being allocated to the sewage to fix the sewage situation in Kingston and St. Andrew. That is not the total fix, but what we can afford this year. Minister Mackenzie, I got the engineering assessment for Denham Town. We got the engineering assessment for Tivoli. I apologize, it was worse than I thought. Residents of West Kingston, I give you my word this evening that the Water Commission has been instructed to move to procurement as late, well rather they were instructed on Thursday by the Most Honorable Prime Minister. You're going to have pipe work starting as early as next month because we know the issues with the leaks. We know that people living in Golden Heights having challenges. And we say to the residents of West Kingston, enough is enough, but we're going to spend the money this year. I am not going to go into every single water project that is for the Prime Minister on Thursday. But I say to your labor rights, be proud of the investment being made in water. Be proud that cares. It is your Prime Minister that is active, ensuring that right across the length, and as said in the strongest possible terms, we're going to invest to give Jamaican people their Vision 2030 to make sure every Jamaican have potable water by 2030. We have 13 projects under contract for $7.2 billion, Minister Williams. Send the money come early in April because we are ready to make sure we fulfill those promises. We are ready to show them that why, labor rights, we are ready to show them that this government chose to fix the end of the sea. This government and all of its ministers, MPs, councillors, Jamaica, this government has worked and has earned a third term. We have always said we will always choose Jamaica. We are asking the people of Jamaica to look at our record, look at our plans. We have chosen Jamaica. Whenever that time comes, send them home. Tell them time done. Tell them we have chosen the Jamaica Labour Party. We have chosen Andrew Michael Holness. Show labor rights. Show labor rights. Bless up area council one.
You know, labor rights, this is what I am talking about. Performance. From we come here this evening, we don't have no guest artists. We don't have no dancers. And we don't cost nobody. All we do is talking about the goodness of a Jamaica Labour Party government led by Dr. Andrew Michael Holness. And when young Jamaicans of independent minds look on the outside and see what is happening, and they want to get involved, and they ask themselves, which is the best option as a party that I must choose? And when they look at a modern, well-oiled, well-structured, decent, honest Jamaica Labour Party, and them look at some people whose track record leaves a lot to be desired, and they say, Labour is what matters. So when we talk, we must tell everybody, let Labour proudly walk abroad and take its place with kings. For who art Labour more than God, the maker of all things? I want now for you to stand and to welcome to the microphone a young man who have decided to join the Jamaica Labour Party, to use the Labour Party as a vehicle to build a stronger and better Jamaica. Soon and very soon, a lot more will be said. But let's welcome now Kevin Fritz to the microphone.
Show a labor right. Show a labor right. Thank you to leader, Mr. Mackenzie, Speaker of the House, Mrs. Holness, ladies and senators, to my family and my friends and people of the constituency. Unity, showers of love, labor rights. I feel honored to be here tonight to accept the responsibility given to me by the Jamaica Labour Party to serve you, the people of Southeastern St. Andrew. I've traveled several places around the world and I'd never live nowhere else but Jamaica, because to me, Jamaica is one of the nicest places on earth. I decided to join the Jamaica Labour Party because I'm an observant person. I'm an observant person. I'm witnessing the transformation that Jamaica is experiencing now under the leadership of Dr. Andrew Holness. Show a labor right. As a businessman, I understand financial numbers and accounting. And I also understand proper business management and management style. I am impressed by the work carried out so far by the Jamaica Labour Party government. I am even more excited by my future plans for this great constituency, Southeast St. Andrew. When the third term, the fourth term, and even the fifth term when the Jamaica Labour Party continue to reduce our debt payments, increase our exports, There'll be more. Southeast St. Andrew, we need proper management in this. This is one of the greatest constituencies for commercial and residential. And we need to send home such man. And we need to tell him to pack your bags and go. When I go through the constituency, it is obvious that we need more innovation and stronger leadership. The disabled people need help. The entrepreneurs and small business people need guidance. Young people need help. We need more community center. The existing centers need maintenance and repair. We need better roads. So far, I'm only in the constituency for a few weeks. We did bulky waste cleanup and a midget of the truck. We deliver wheelchairs to disabled. And on last Ash Wednesday, we had a successful football and domino tournament at Jake's Road. And I've been helping small business people to restructure their business for growth. Labor rights, me just a start. This great constituency, under my leadership, will experience real transformation with a management approach that will be unique and inclusive. You, the members of the constituency, will be active decision makers. The development and growth of the constituency with our short-term, medium-term, and long-term planning. Labor rights, citizens of Southeast St. Andrew, I invite you to join me on this journey for prosperity for all, sustainable development in our communities, peace and love. I'm asking you to give me the opportunity to serve as your next member of parliament. So when the most honorable Prime Minister decides to fly the gate, call up your friend, bring out a granny, and put your ex beside the bell. Shower! Rup, 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 rup.
You know, labor rights. We're going to come back another time. But I want you to know that this man, great things is going to happen for him in this constituency shortly. Kevin Fritz. Thank you. So now labor rights. So labor rights. I want you support. I want you to listen to me. Because coming next is the Minister of Finance. Hold on. There is a black Nissan Silicon, one of the newer models motor car, license number 6593HZ. You're blocking the gate of someone who wants to get in. Gonna ask you, if you drive a black Nissan with a license number 6593HZ, please allow the residents to get in. Area Council 1. Area Council 1. I know you felt good on Tuesday. I know when you heard the Minister of Finance, Jamaica's first female finance minister. What a presentation. Welcome now, Favor Williams.
Labor rights! Labor rights! Labor rights! Deputy Leader Mackenzie, MP Holness, our First Lady and Speaker of the House, members on the platform, let me say congratulations, Minister Seawright. Ring the bell for Minister Seawright. But tonight, Labor Rights is for the candidate of the moment, Kevin Frith, MP caretaker for Southeast St. Andrew. Kevin, we come from St. Andrew Eastern to give you strength. When we St. Andrew Eastern people there, we're right across the road from you, Kevin. So we're here to give you our support. So Labor Rights, let me tell you, if you didn't know, this election is going to be like no other. The opposition is hungry for power. They will do anything. Labor Rights, this election is for of the Jamaican people. Keep focused. They missed the point about savings. On fashion. They missed the point about all Jamaica. So they have a little money that they can set aside. And you know why they missed it? They missed it because them are tapanaris. Somebody just WhatsApped me and said, Minister, ignore the PNP. Them a 9-day wonder. Labor Rights, we have a hard-working team led by Prime Minister Holness. We are going to continue running water pipes to people's yards so they don't have to carry water on their head in the rural area. We will continue to ensure that those communities in the corporate area that need consistent water supply get it. You heard Minister Samuda. Listen. The Shasamuda said they would bankrupt NWC. Believe Minister Samuda. Don't believe the PNP. They're just throwing things on the wall to see what sticks. They are without good ideas. Don't believe the gimmicks. Them are the run with it party. Them are the party of high debt. Them are the party of deficit spending. Don't believe the gimmicks that they come with. Because at the end of the day, they might say, tricks you. Labor rights, them are the party that said, them are the party that said they will put tax on imported food. And if them tell you them are going to do it, then we do it. We, the Jamaica Labour Party, we remove taxes so that you can have more money in your pocket. They don't have a history of reducing taxes. Labor rights, they have a history of increasing taxes on the backs of the Jamaican people. The JLP, the Jamaica Labour Party, labor rights. We commit to bring more opportunities for you and your children. You know that during the pandemic, many of your children came home with devices. They came home with laptops. A JLP did that. A JLP government make sure that they have a device in them hands so they could connect and still learn during the pandemic. When Beryl mashed up all the schools, 8 weeks before schools to open, the opposition spokesman on education come out and talk about school now go open because the school then not fixed. What could go so, labor rights?
JLP cares for Jamaica. Come on, come on, come on.
School open like there was no Beryl hurricane. You remember? All of the school building never did finish fixing. We find some place for the picnic them to go so that they can learn. It's how we work for Jamaican people. We find solutions. We go all out for Jamaican people. We are a resilient people. We are a resilient party. So, labor rights. A lot of good things have been happening. Minister Vaz has been rolling out JUTC buses. All the country, the JUTC bus them gone. And there are more buses to come so that if you have to ride a JUTC bus, you ride it in comfort and you don't have to stand up too long at the bus station to wait for the bus that's coming. That is how we're working for you and making your life better. Labor rights, we've done a lot. And I'm sure you will admit that. But we still have a lot to do. And so we are asking you for a third term. We need the third term to continue to bring more social housing, to continue fix roads, to continue fix more schools, to continue buy more JUTC buses and more garbage trucks, to continue create more jobs, to continue providing more training for young people. Labor rights, we're moving on to victory. We need you, when you leave the meetings like these, to go back into your communities and spread the good news about what the Jamaica Labour Party has done and will continue to do for the country and for you. We need to give back to you to make your life better. We will continue to find ways to help you and your children. We are about upliftment. The Jamaica Labour Party is about moving people from one stage to the other, making their lives better. So we need you to be out there spreading the good news. Don't listen to the lies we'll be trying to send. They didn't have any ideas when they came to Parliament. Listen to the difference, Jamaica Labour Party people. We're not done yet. We need a third term. We need you to bring out your neighbors. Tell your church brothers and sisters that we are all voting for Labour.
Vote for Labour. Grab your neighbor, vote for Labour. Tell your neighbor we vote for Labour. Everybody just vote for Labour.
So, Southeast St. Andrew, let me talk to Uno. Make sure Kevin Frith is in the winning column on election night. We need all of you. We need every single one of you and more to come out and vote for Kevin Frith. There is no such thing as a safe PNP constituency exists. We can win Southeast St. Andrew, but you have to do the work. You have to put the ballots in the ballot box. He can win. He's a young man. He's full of strength. And he comes to you with an honest heart. So work with him and make sure we're walking down Garden, walking down to Parliament. So Labourite, I know we can depend on you. You've always been there for us. And as we are in our communities, as we continue to do our canvassing and continue to move around, we need your help. We cannot do it without you. We need you to be beside us every step of the way, carrying the good news about the Jamaica Labour Party. Third term Labourites! Third term Labourites! On to victory Labourites! Shower Labourites! And your wholeness Labourites! God bless you Labourites. Thank you so much.
You know, Labour Rights, we have had a great evening. Inspiring presentations from our various speakers. Hope is strong. You know, there's a song that says, we build our hope on a solid rock, on Jesus' righteousness. On Christ, the solid rock, we stand. All other grounds, sinking sand. Listen out for where we're going next week, because the message of hope, the JLP active, building stronger Jamaica, building nation. Wave your fingers, Labour Rights. If you love Andrew, say third term. Make sure on Thursday you tune in to Parliament to hear the most honorable Prime Minister. Let us lift up Andrew Holness some more.
You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Hey! 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh yes you have.
All my life
you have been so good. Every breath that I am able, oh I will sing of the goodness of God.
Kevin Fritz, see me? You know, labor rights, those who are going far, those who are going near, have a safe journey home. Let us close with the playing of the party
Desmond
anthem.
Mackenzie, the JLP deputy leader in charge of Area Council 1, bringing to a close this Area Council meeting 1 at the YWCA School Leavers Institute, principally held to make public the party's decision to go with a young businessman, Kevin Frith, against Julian Robinson in Southeast St. Andrew. This election campaign is now well and truly on in Jamaica for later this year. Later this year, how late, how soon, we don't know. Only the Prime Minister knows. Today he announced the appointment of 2 new ministers to his government, one to the cabinet, one to the government. To the cabinet, Senator Audrey Marks, the former Jamaican ambassador to Washington, and Senator Delano Seabright to be a state minister in the Ministry of Tourism. And the Labour Party had 3 meetings across the island today, yes, as they step up their campaign for the general elections. It is going to be a very interesting, I would say, maximum 12 to 16 weeks that we're in for, yes, as media, as Jamaicans, to keep abreast of the intensification of the political activities. We're going to have many, many more of these until the day is here, okay? On behalf of the entire team, including my producer, Dana Davey, our videographer, Jamal, and of course, our broadcast engineer, Mr. Jermaine Compass. I'm Cliff Hughes saying good night. See you tomorrow morning at 10. And of course, the This Morning team of Tonna Thomas and George Davis will be up at 6 tomorrow.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.